It's arguably the second most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, does that work as a thing?
Did you want me to start again? Or have we done it now? Is that bad?
I mean, I know we do these intros cold and you never tell us what you're going to do,
No.
but I'm like...
No. Should we do it?
It's too late now. The button has been pressed. The numbers are going up. Let's just go with that, folks.
I said arguably. It could be supported by argument. It's not necessarily the second. It might be the most. It might not rate. But for me, it does.
Okay.
And so this all to say, Merry Happy Easter time to all you fellow Bluey fans. My name's Brendan.
This is Frank.
And this is Marty.
And we are all collectively granting you our permission to do with the whatever's left of this 4-day weekend to, put your feet up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about anything. Watch some Bluey, for crying out loud.
It's only 7 minutes.
It's the best show on TV. And I know that's what I've been doing this weekend, and it's what I will continue to do, except for the time that I'm now spending talking about it with my two favourite people to talk to this show about with.
Aw.
You're welcome.
This episode of the Hammer Barn Project is called Eggs Marks the Spot.
So, given it is Easter time, is there a special or appropriate episode that we could do?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's a no.
No.
Oh, hang on.
Can't think
Let's
of
do a
anything.
Christmas episode, right?
Well, we did. The only reason why we wouldn't is because we only recently done one.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why we wouldn't. There's one called...
This episode of Bluey is called Easter.
That would be a good one to do. That would be a good one to do.
I must say, for some of the titles of the episodes, I should say,
This one's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. I was a little bit whelmed when I sort of realised, it's literally an episode about Easter. Okay, sure.
Whelmed.
Yeah. Are we in Europe?
It just reminds me of something I always wanted to say to Brendan, which is like, oh, Brendan, you're looking very kempt today. Just sort of assumes that you're always unkempt. Anyway.
Just sort of kempt.
Kempt, yeah.
Well kempt. No.
So this episode comes from right at the tail end of season 2, episode number 52. Marty, take it away with the bare bones, if you will.
Well, I think this episode is pretty much just a Brendan dream come true of an Indiana Jones experience entirely within
they
Bluey.
know.
They know.
that
This
you
is
love
like
Indy.
them
Yep.
tapping into Brendan's dreams.
They've found me. They've
using
seen my
their-
DVD collection.
Using their brain radar. No. This is an episode in which Bluey and Bingo, after not having received their eggs on time last year, are concerned whether they'll get eggs this year, and then wake up to find a treasure hunt, an exciting treasure hunt, which they pursue the hidden eggs. It's a very exciting treasure hunt. How good is it, guys?
I do love, you are correct in saying that it's just the extent to this incredible treasure hunt is kind of, and now I'm tiptoeing again. So let's just say, hey, parents.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah, are your kids in the car? If they are, for no reason, maybe this might be an episode for another time. No? Because I want to talk about how good Chilli and Bandit are. and it's tricky to do.
Skill 101 of podcasting. Don't tell the listeners to stop listening. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. But also...
don't crush kids' dreams.
Yeah. Also, don't do that. That's also good parenting.
Again, Chilli and Bandit raising the bar for parents all around the world, just going, damn it, that's really good. I hope my kids don't take notes on this, otherwise I'm in trouble.
Wasn't it the Easter Bunny who set up
the Easter Bunny plans with Mum and Dad. Mum and Dad have to let him into the house, and then he does the rest.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
That's how I
sure
understood it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Hoi!
Got out of that one, didn't we? Nobody noticed.
You okay in the back seat there, kids? You all right? You're probably looking out the window.
So moving away from the awkward
Yeah.
transition, one of the things that's interesting about this episode is it wasn't actually released at the same time as the back half of season 2 drop. This was actually a separate individual drop that came, funny enough, around Easter time.
There you go.
So yeah, this was right at the tail end of season 2. At that stage prior to this, people thought we were just 51 episodes in season 2. That is what it is. But then this one sort of, I think they teased it, a few days leading into Easter, and then we got a bonus episode, as some people refer to it.
So good. I will say, going back, I think we've established that I might slip up in this episode talking about the magic of the event because I'm not a parent, I'm an uncle, and I haven't been practiced in the ways of keeping the magic alive. So that being said, I'm going to talk about Chilli and Bandit now. You've been given sufficient warning. They do. You were totally right earlier, Frank, when you said that it is a class example of excellent parenting and making it really magic for them. And I love that they do balance that out and mustn't make parents feel too bad by the letter. Oh, yes. that is brilliant. I should have written it down. Does anybody have it like because I wouldn't want to do it injustice. Does anyone have it verbatim? Marty, do you have it on you?
Not really.
I think that the line, it's like, dear Bingo and Bluey. Sorry, I was late. Sorry, I was late. Had some family stuff on. Don't want to go into it. I promise I'll do better next year.
What is it? Big love.
Easter Bunny.
And that's perfect. And it just reveals their frailty and their fallibility.
It's okay, parents. Bandit and Chilli are not perfect.
I wonder if they did that on purpose. I wonder if they heard so many people talking about how perfect they are, and this is another perfect example of them making lives magical for the kids. And they're just like, should we put something in about how last year they stuffed it up? That says so much.
This is another of those episodes I find where Bingo is just kind of I don't want to say the hanger-on, but she's almost to the side of most of the story. But she has some of the best lines. Bluey is leading this story, let's be honest. And, she's working out the clues as they go and stuff. But Bingo
because I'm just thinking of some now. But
Bingo has some amazing lines, even right at the start where they wake up and it's Easter and they look in their little rabbit bags or whatever they are and there's nothing in them. And, Bluey's just got this empty box. And Bingo's like, let me check mine again. What is it? Oh, it's just a burr.
That is my
it's a letter B.
There's something very funny about a plosive, isn't there? It's just a burr. But I love also that when they figure out what it is, I'm like, oh, well done. I didn't figure it out.
I wouldn't have got that. Yeah.
I was like, Bluey, that's well done to get letterbox. Because I was still sitting there, I think the first time I saw it, I went, oh yeah, good work. I would have B box B.
I also love just the whole animation around that. It's just a burr. And then she just kind of flops down on the floor and drops the burr. Yeah,
Bingo does deflated like nobody else.
I'm gonna go on the other side of this, Frank, and say it's a combo episode. I think it's Bluey's the straight man, and Bingo just gets to play off of that through this whole thing, or she's the emotional trigger because she's the one going throughout the entire thing, or this is gonna be the worst thing ever. One of the other one, well, we zoomed past it. I love that, because this is, have a big sleep, Easter Bunny's going to come. And then they both wake up and there's that moment of Bingo, wake up. And she just literally falls out of the bed.
It's Easter. Wake up, Bingo. Did it come? It's just, that's really what it's like on those holiday mornings as a kid.
Yeah,
that I get something today. There's some magic about today.
That moment when you're waking up of just the realization. That's kind of what the whole episode is for me is that sort of magical layer to
It captures it.
yeah,
totally.
of, a special day. Here we're sort of looking at it, what is it, the contemporary pop secular Easter, where it's focused around, the character of the Easter Bunny. But it's great for Studio Ludo because it's a game, really, isn't it? This thing of finding. So
For sure.
it's that sort of magic of,
and it
like,
is, and it's
something-
great that it starts the night before because it is so difficult to get. I remember it being so
100%.
difficult to get to
So
sleep
excited.
on the night before these special mornings, and then the opening of the eyes and the realization, oh my god,
It's here.
This isn't just another morning. This is one of the special
and
ones.
I don't have to wait anymore.
Yeah.
It's now.
Yeah. Lest I forget to mention them, my two favorite Bluey lines when she's like amongst it. Oh, is that getting too far ahead? Can we go?
We
go
don't
by
exactly
bit?
go linear in this show.
When they're on the thing and they see the castle when they're up on the balcony, they see the castle. It's like, there's a castle in London. We have to get to the airport.
To the airport,
Not even. She's not even kidding. She doesn't
no.
even stop to
ready.
think that that's ridiculous that we go to London. We can't go to London. We're just children.
If nobody stopped
like,
her.
like what? It's like she was going to go to the airport with no plan.
Because there's a castle in London.
Or you could read it like she's in it for maybe there's a whole underlying thing here where Bluey's in it for the magic for Bingo, and she just and she maybe it's unwritten that she wanted to give Bingo that moment. So whether you like to think about it that Bluey's pulling the strings from the magic for her sister, or whether you like looking at it that Bingo really was clever enough to be the only one to go, hang on, that's a castle. I'll take note of that for later. And then when she sees the
petals,
castle on with the petals, however you look at it, they're both lovely.
Yeah.
For me, that looking down moment is 100% indie, because that's exactly the same as when he goes up to the pulpit and looks down at the X.
Oh, yes.
So, like having to go up to a higher point to see the, the design that you can't see from the ground level.
Cue my eternal shame and embarrassment that you said that. That is, X marks the spot.
And as we often talk about on this show, the music, right? Now, I was almost, and maybe in my head before I went back to rewatch it, I was like, that's right, the music is like straight out of Indiana Jones. It's that famous sort of trumpeting. It's not, but it's still pretty good. Like for me, it has that sort of Legends of Zelda type vibe where it's at the start, it's very almost simplistic, and then it's like a build. Without realizing it, it builds and builds and builds to the big reveal of the the treasure at the end. And I love the music in this one.
I love that you guys keep referencing Indiana Jones. That's great.
Why would we do that?
It's just I don't want to overdo it because I don't like overdoing things. I don't know if you know me. So it's nice to spread it around a little bit. But the music, it does have some vamping that kind of evokes that. And that's a big part of the before the comes in, which it doesn't, because that's Indiana Jones.
And I think there's some brilliant moments wherein, they're just like, oh, now we have to run here, and it's the that sort of ramps up, and that really gets you into the flow of it.
It's so exciting. Because what is it? It's the things in the bags, and then they go to the letterbox, and then the letterbox
it's got
says
the
something about the
chatterbox.
kitchen. It's got the chatterbox, and the fact that she instinctively just goes Easter egg, and that's the. I'm sure there probably would have been one of those egg stickers everywhere,
and
with the chef hat.
But that's the thing, though. The Easter Bunny knows Bingo's favorite color.
There you go. Right? Yeah, blue, just like you. This is full of sweet moments like that. Yeah. And then they go into the kitchen and they see the fridge.
And like the connection to there's a packet of eggs with a kiwi fruit in it. Kiwi fruit.
How good is that?
It's so good.
Because at that point, you as the viewer, you're watching to see, and you're trying to get to the clue and the answer to the clue before Bluey and Bingo are, and then you see the kiwi, and that was the first one where I just went, wait, what? And then Bandit cuts it in half, and you're like, you clever dogs.
Yeah, it's one of those episodes where I'm genuinely envious of the people who haven't seen it yet, because they get to see it for the first time, and I never get to see it for the first time again, and follow along not knowing what the next step is.
Yeah, and for this episode, I think this is one of the ones where I really didn't write very many notes because you just get pulled along so fast with it.
That's why I never do that. That's the reason I don't take notes. I'm just so involved. Yeah, I would promise,
but you're just so immersed.
That's it.
One of the other good lines from Bingo is when they're looking in the fridge too, because it's like, are there any eggs in there? No. Oh, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, he comes back up
like
again.
A reverse one. Yeah, she comes back up, which is really nice.
She is like a yo-yo in this episode. It's great.
But like any good journey, of course, there is a moment of danger and peril. Will Bluey make it out of Dad's toilet alive? Like
the horror when they find the toilet roll and they go to the bathroom. They're like, what if it's Dad's bathroom? And they clutch each other like, oh no. Yeah. And it just punches into Blue and she's like, I'm going in.
And I think it's even just before Bluey enters, there's a bit where Bandit's and he's just doing his business on the toilet with the newspaper, and even he goes, oh, Bandit.
It's even too much for him. How does Bluey expect to survive?
It smells so bad in there, we're going to die.
Oh, I forgot to mention my other favourite Bluey moment. When they find the toilet roll that tells them to go to the toilet. When Bingo's like, no, wait, I think it might be another car. So they run back down to the sandpit. She goes, see, there's a pit. Bingo just comes straight to the flame and kicks it out of the way so she can dig. And just straight away, just boom. It doesn't even let Bingo finish what she's saying. And then she's digging. And then like, oh, is it chocolate? It is. And I don't know if any of it, I mean, they probably won't air this part of the podcast in America because it's got to do with poop, kids.
Ooh,
but did anybody else think, maybe I'm just making this up because I'm a child, when Bluey was digging and she goes, is it chocolate? It is.
Oh,
Wait. No, it's not. And there's just something about digging in a sandpit, finding something, and going, wait, that's not what I think it is. No? Was it just me? That's just gross?
I think it's just you.
Yeah, okay.
What sort of pranks did your brothers and sisters play on you?
None. But, well, no, I mean, we did, but not so disgusting. But I did go to a primary school that had a sandpit that was not sufficiently fenced from, like, maybe people who take their dogs for walks. I'm just saying, sometimes it happens in sandpits, and they're dogs. I don't know. I'm sure they're trained. Just pretend I never said anything.
Look, speaking of Easter eggs,
why?
There is a long dog very well hidden in this episode. We've talked about the shots where Bluey and Bingo are outside and at the ground level looking at the pedals, unable to make out what it is. And there's a sort of a wider shot where you can see the fence on the left-hand side as you look at it on the screen. And tucked in right between the little row of hedges, you can only see the top half of a long dog. And I'm kid you not, it's on screen for maybe 10 seconds at best.
Oh, man.
And it's I didn't see it myself the first time through. I actually had to look up and go, no, there's got to be one in here. Sure enough, it is the quickest, briefest cameo you will ever see of a long dog.
There you go. But I feel like I've let you guys mention Indiana Jones enough.
Uh-oh.
So hold on to your hats, kids. Specifically the ones that are like Indiana Jones hats. I have one of those, by the way.
We know.
Okay. Look, who am I if I can't be honest? I did not think that would be a Last Crusade reference with getting to a higher position so you can see the full position. Like, I'm really well done.
You're annoyed that you missed it?
Well, no, I'm not annoyed that I missed it. Of course, it's a reference and planned and intended, and also just the use of an Easter egg bag as like a satchel.
Oh, the handbags?
It's called a satchel. Indiana Jones has one.
There you go.
And just that as a satchel thing. And then, I mean, can we talk about the final shot? Are we there yet? Or have I...
Nah, do it.
Just like rolling that ball aside. It's like a mishmash. If it truly is Last Crusade looking down at X marks the spot and then satchels and just like then rolling a boulder aside, which is more Raiders again. And then the glow
Oh,
It's so the idol from the beginning of Raiders and the arc when they uncover it, just that inner glow. It just radiates the goldness of its own accord. It's just it fills me with that same kind of adventure and discovery as like Indiana Jones does, and I don't think it's an accident, guys. These guys, I don't.
Seems to be far too many accidents for this to be coincidental.
These guys know what they're doing.
Hey, can we talk to one of our other favourite segments here on the show? What was Altered Willie's whimper?
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, there's a couple of sort of clutch moments in this, but the one I'm going to sort of jump in here and take a guess, Brenny. When they've searched everywhere, they've ended up back in their room. It feels they've hit a dead end with the clues, and they're all a bit despondent. And Bingo turns to Bluey and says, "Oh, it's my fault. He forgot us because I'm a forgettable child." And my heart broke in that moment. And then, Bluey doing the nice big sister thing tries to sort of, no, it's not your fault. You're not forgettable. It's my fault, tries to shoulder the blame there. And I'm just like, would you look at this? Oh,
absolutely.
Killed me.
And she says, like, I'm not brave. And like, what are you talking about? You went into Dad's bathroom.
Toilet. Yeah.
You're the bravest thing. And they just go, yeah, we're not forgettable. No, we're not. We're rememberable. And they just say, and they just say, "Happy Easter, Bluey. Happy Easter, Bingo," and they hug. And then I think you've hit the nail on the head. That whole scene was Altered Willie's whimpers left, right, and center. But the hug at the end really, just that sisterly love.
It's a mental health thing of going, well, don't just go with the thought, go with the evidence. So it's this thing of, okay, I'm forgettable. No, you're very smart, and because you did this thing. Like, oh yeah, I did do this thing. You're very brave. You did do this thing. Actually, you know what? If we look at the evidence, we are rememberable, as opposed to, however we're feeling right now.
Yeah, and roll up those magazines, because when we get into season 3, the mini Bluey episode, that's another primo example of that sort of thing, when these kids just kind of go, well, hang on, and they really step into bat for each other when one of them's feeling down. The other one goes, no, and presents them with the evidence to the contrary, and they really care about each other, and they really look out for each other, and I'm going to start whimpering right now.
I've almost ended the episode there with the hug. Like, it would have been a bit strange, not finding the treasure at the end, but
But the way that they went back into that is perfect. It's just like, Happy Easter, Bingo. Ooh, look at the footprints. That I can't remember exact wording of the line, but it's delivered so well, because she's just like, Happy Easter, Bingo. Oh, look. and
then the chase is on again.
Footprints. The payoff of all that. No, we're not forgettable. We're rememberable. Just going back to that final moment. Roll the yoga ball aside, and they see that, and Bingo's not even excited about the chocolate. She's like, he remembered us.
Yeah, that's the last line, isn't it?
Yeah, that's so sweet. Oh my God.
You gotta love the kicked over confetti though. As a thing that it's at the start. Yeah, just
we'll fix it tomorrow.
Done. Oh, we'll fix it later. And then that comes back in. That's just like, classic Bluey couplet. Left open to lead us into the footprints. The whole concept of this episode just reminds me of, like, this is something that Ali, my wife, who we had on recently, she tells a story about her mum who, she got up on Easter morning and she's like, my mum ran into her bedroom, and mum's like, here, have this clue. And so she ended up going around the house finding these various different clues and ending back at mum's bed. And the eggs were under the bed. So, fantastic excuse for mum to get a lie in. Somehow maybe balanced by having to come up with these various clues, the time it took to come up with and hide the various clues. So a bit of a for real life.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, there are a bunch of for real life moments in this one for me, like the footprints in particular. Little icing sugar footprints were big.
That's the classic one.
I think one day, and I don't want to embarrass my parents, because I think my mum has started listening to the show.
Oh.
So, but I think
behave yourself, Brendan.
I think it serves me right, this story, because, you know, you shouldn't eat icing sugar off the floor anyway. but
This is the way we get into this story,
you know,
people.
it was icing sugar, so maybe there was a little bit of, you know, lick your finger and no, I mean,
You don't need to tell the rest of the story. I think we've joined the dots.
It serves me right. It serves me right that one year I think the Easter Bunny might have run out of time to get to the shops for icing sugar, and so I think flour was used. and so the magical footprints were there.
They didn't taste very nice though, did they?
They didn't taste like they did the year before.
And did you get a letter from the Easter Bunny saying, sorry, didn't have time to get to the shops for icing sugar?
Yeah, sorry, I stood in some flour earlier.
Had some family stuff going on. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
And one last little thing to note before we get out of here: the what do you call that paper thing where you choose the 4 squares?
Oh yes,
What's
Marty mentioned it earlier.
A chatterbox.
A chatterbox.
Yeah, a chatterbox.
Yeah.
It
I
goes
never
by
knew
many
what
names.
that was called.
Yeah. Hey, I probably made them back in the day, but that is the item that actually appears in the end credits, and it's sort of sitting there. But it's got this little like sparkle to it, like as if to almost indicate that it's magic and stuff. And I really like it's quite subtle, but it's there, and I love that because it's that just. You know, it's that's for the kids. Yeah. There's a way of sort of putting it out there, and I love it because, you know,
maybe mum and dad didn't play so much of a hand in it.
That's right, mate. The Easter Bunny most definitely, like the Easter Bunny knew Bingo's favorite color. Like that doesn't happen. You know, that's magic right there, folks.
Do you guys want some chocolate?
Have you got some eggs?
Yeah, I got some eggs. I've got one of those lint bunnies. Marty, can I interest you in a red tulip Humpty Dumpty?
You can indeed, sir.
And share them around, pass them around.
Beautiful.
Hey, this is just kiwi fruit inside.
What's that? I gotta go. So, guys, if you've got any big jobs, if you're not going to take my advice and you're not going to put your feet up and watch heaps of Bluey, which you should do, but you're going to use this time instead to do some work around the house, cross some of those odd jobs off the list, well, I know where you can get all your supplies. Follow the little clues that lead you on that exciting hunt to the treasure that is Hammer Barn, aisle 300.
Left at the fake grass.
And if you see an Easter Bunny, tell him not to forget about us.
Created and produced by Frank, Brennan and Marty. You can follow the Hammer Barn Project on facebook.com/HammerBarnProj, at HammerBarnProj on Twitter, or HammerBarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammer Barn for cheap shovels.